episode 516 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Back again tonight, and I will be talking all about tonight's episodes of WWE Friday Night Smackdown and AEW Rampage on this late Friday night, going into Saturday morning, right here, right now, 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Welcome once again, Wrestling Fanatics. Lance Brock here again tonight. I just finished watching Smackdown and Rampage on the Sling DVR. And if you tuned in earlier tonight, Friday night, and listen to 360 Wrestling Fanatic, you know that I attended the Champion for a Cause show, the Heart of the Matter, here tonight in Wayne, Michigan, featuring WWE Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart, Rhino, the Motor City Machine Guns, Zach Gowen, Gregory Iron was on the show, Jimmy Jacobs. And it was a stacked card. I had a special guest co-host on that episode of the podcast as well. My good friend Mickey, who I went to the show with, guest hosted the podcast with me, and we talked about the card, and it was a really good card to benefit autism for a really good cause. And I might talk about it a little more in future episodes right here on 360 Wrestling Fanatic, maybe on Good Morning Wrestling Fans tomorrow morning or tomorrow night when I talk about Collision. But it was a really good card, and Rhino winning the I can't think of the name of it right now, but some kind of Ford dealer championship, defeating Karim. And the opening match, the Motor City Machine Guns taking on Lotus, GQ, Gavin Quinn, and Juntai. That was a great main event and a great match. And I feel like that could have main evented the show. It was that good. But we start things off with WWE Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart. And let's get into WWE Friday Night Smackdown for tonight, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Our commentators tonight, Michael Cole, Kevin Patrick, and Corey Graves. Like I said, I DVR'd Smackdown tonight. And since I was at the live show tonight, we get Pretty Deadly defeating the Brawling Brutes, Ridge Holland and Butch. Sheamus still out with an injury. We have Bayley with Dakota Kai and Io Sky defeating the LWO's Zelina Vega. The WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions Cody Rhodes and Main event, Jey Uso defeating Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to retain the titles. And LA Knight defeating Solo Sikoa. And also tonight on the season premiere of Smackdown, we had the return of Roman Reigns, we had John Cena, and we had the announcement from Triple H that Adam Pearce is now the general manager of Monday Night Raw. And now there is also a new general manager of Friday Night SmackDown. And I heard on McGuire on Wrestling this past weekend that this man was working behind the scenes with WWE. Didn't know he was really going to be an authority figure on camera. But it is none other than Nick Aldis, the national treasure, the former Magnus in TNA/Impact Wrestling, has made his WWE debut as the general manager of Friday Night SmackDown. Definitely interesting to see what will come of this. I mean, it's kind of too bad though that Nick Aldis won't be a competitor, an in-ring competitor, I should say, in WWE. Definitely a very talented guy. Former TNA World Champion, former NWA World Champion, and he can still go too. He often competes for Bret Hart's promotion, Dungeon Wrestling, there in Canada, and I think he still has a lot to offer as an in-ring competitor. And now let's go over to TNT for AEW Rampage, which was taped last Tuesday night. And we have Daniel Garcia, Angelo Parker, Cool Hand Ange, and Daddy Magic Matt Menard defeating Brothers A, Isaiah Cassidy and the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy in a trios match. Also, Sky Blue with a very impressive victory over Emi Sakura. We got, I don't know if I would say darker side of Sky Blue now since she was misted, but by Julia Hart. But she wasn't her normal smiley, happy self when she came out. And definitely a big win for Sky Blue over Emi Sakura. I could see her getting a shot at either the Women's Championship or the TBS Championship one of these days. And I would definitely like to see her with one of those titles around her waist. And Jay Lethal with Karen Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, Saddam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt defeats Trent Beretta with Chuck Taylor and Rocky Romero in their corner. And as Mark Henry would say, it looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. Also, I forgot to mention earlier our commentators tonight. Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Paul White, a.k.a. Captain Insano. And shopaew.com. You can go there and get the limited edition Captain Insano Micro Brawler. In the main event, Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta defeat the Gates of Agony, Khan and Toaloa, with Prince Nana in their corner. Pretty good match. And that is WWE Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage. Pretty good shows this week. Like I said, I was late watching them. Saw a great night of live pro wrestling. And actually, this was my first live show in 2023. Before tonight, the last one I went to was Blood and Guts at Little Caesars Arena in 2022. Unfortunately, don't make it to as many live shows as I would like to these days. Hopefully that'll change soon. I know December 27th, WWE returns to Little Caesars Arena in Detroit for a house show on a Wednesday night, part of the holiday tour, which, to be honest, I'm really not sure if it's a Raw or Smackdown branded show. But who knows? Maybe we'll be able to go to that December 27th. Maybe. Also, I know this one's kind of short, but thank you everyone for tuning in. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave your feedback on tonight's Smackdown and Rampage right here in the comment section. Either right here on Spreaker, YouTube, or whichever podcast website you listen to on. And that's all for tonight. Hope to be back tomorrow night and talk about AEW Saturday Collision. But first I will be back tomorrow morning for the Saturday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans, where I will preview tomorrow's AEW Saturday Collision and talk anything else going on in the world of pro wrestling. But once again, thank you for tuning in tonight, and I appreciate everyone listening. And until I talk to you tomorrow morning, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.